In this video, I am going to discuss Maya Angelou's poem, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Now, before starting the poem, I will give a quick background to Maya Angelou and her style of poetry writing. So, Maya belongs to the African American community. She is one of the greatest writers of the black community in America. Like most of the writers from this community, she has also expressed the sentiments and the emotions of the black people in a very racist American society. So, when I call the American society racist, I mean the attitude of the white people towards the black people. Even today, this kind of attitude towards the black people, the African American people, is quite common in the American society. It had started with the practice of slavery when the black people from Africa were brought in America to work as slaves under the masters, and although this slavery had been abolished and even a lot of laws have been brought forward in order to improve the lives of these people, but in reality it seems that the cultural divide or the mental divide between the black community and the white community still exists very much in American society. So even today the blacks have to face discrimination. Even today, we hear news of black people being beaten up, tortured, or even murdered in America just for the crime, just for the mistake of being black, just for the mistake of coming from a different race that is considered by some people as inferior. So, here Maya Angelou has very beautifully expressed how it feels to be treated as second class citizen in any country, how it feels when you are denied of certain advantages, certain chances and opportunities in your own country just because of your complexion, just because of your ethnicity. So, in this poem, we will find two very dominant metaphors. The caged bird is a metaphor representing the African American people, the black people in America. And the free bird represents the white people or the European American people who are basically having a dominant position in the society. They control all the resources, they control the politics, the society of America. So, what is the condition of these white people in American society, and what is the condition of of the black people in the American society can be clearly understood by reading this poem through these metaphors of the free bird and the caged bird. So without wasting much time in the background, since this is a quick revision video, I am coming to the text of the poem. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. So, the first section, the first stanza of the poem is basically describing the life of the free bird. As the name suggests, the free bird has the entire sky to enjoy. There is no limitation, there is no binding to stop the free bird from enjoying the resources that Mother Nature has provided. So it enjoys itself by riding at the back of the wind and floating from the top of the mountain down to the valley. Now, here at the beginning, in the first two lines, we find an imagery used, the imagery of horse riding. Just like a rider can sit at the back of the horse and control the horse, travel anywhere by keeping a control over the horse. Similarly, the bird also sits at the back of the wind and keeps a control over itself and flows down as the wind flows down from the top of the mountain to the downstream. Downstream basically refers to the valley where the water or the rivers that flow from the top of the mountain comes down and reaches the plain land. So once again, a free bird leaps on the back of the wind. So the wind is here represented as a horse, and the free bird, like a horse rider, sits at the back of the wind and floats downstream. That means from the top of the mountain, it slips to the downstream, that is the valley. It comes to the place where the current ends. Now, this can be the current of the water that is flowing from the top of the mountain, because as the water is flowing from the top of the mountain, it is coming at a certain speed. But when it reaches the plain land, it no longer has that speed. So, therefore, as the river reaches the plain surface, the current ends there. Or it can also be the current of the wind that blows from the top of the mountain to down to the valley. That current, that motion of the wind can also be referred here. So ultimately, the bird comes down from the top of the mountain to the valley, and then it once again flies high in the sky. Now, this time the sky is compared as liquid colored oranges. The liquid orange color of the sky is basically representing the rays of the sun. The bright sun rays have painted the whole sky orangish or yellowish orange in color, and this free bird, it dips its wings in that orange colored liquid, and then it celebrates it enjoys its freedom. So orange here is the color of opportunity. It is a very bright and vibrant color. The sun rays are orange in color, so it is ultimate representation of brightness, vibrance. And the bird dipping its bird in the orange color is basically representing how the free bird is enjoying the resources of the nature, how vibrant and dynamic life this free bird has. In comparison to the dynamism of this free bird, we will see the caged bird has a very static, confined life. So basically, these metaphors and these images are used by our poet in order to contrast the condition of the free bird and that of the caged bird. So the free bird has the courage to call the sky its own, because there is nothing to limit the free bird, there is nothing to stop the free bird, so the free bird can do whatever it like. It can flow down from the top of the hill and come to the valley, and once again it can fly high to the sky, bathing in the bright rays of the sun. So anything it wishes, it can do. It can sit and enjoy on the branches of the trees. It can go and take a dip in the water or catch a fish in the river or the lakes. So it is free to enjoy all the resources that Mother Nature has in her store. But in contrast to this free bird, in the second stanza, we see the caged bird which is completely locked up. So, as I have already said in the beginning of the poem, the free bird is metaphorically representing the European American community or the white American community. These people in America's society, basically they have all the advantages. America is considered as the land of opportunity. If you have the willpower, then you can achieve even the impossible in that country. So all these opportunities and chances basically in America are confined, limited for these white skinned people. They can achieve whatever they like, they can fly or they can move wherever they like, and they dare to claim the whole country and its society as their own. Now let's come to the second stanza, to see the condition of the caged bird. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped, his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. So, in contrast to the dynamic movement of the free movement of the bird, we see that this bird is also moving, but it's not the happy movement, the happy flight in the free air. It is stalking. What is stalking? Stalking means to walk angrily. So this bird is so angry and frustrated on being locked up inside a small cage that it cannot fly, but at least it can walk up and down inside the cage, expressing its anger, expressing its frustration. And this bird can seldom means hardly, so this bird can hardly see through the bars of rage. Now bars of the cage could be understood, that the cage, most probably it is made of metal and it has metal bars, so thin bars are there, and because of those bars the visibility is hindered. The bird can't see everything outside clearly because of the bars of the cage. But what does bars of rage means? Here the bars are not just the physical barrier that is preventing the bird to fly out, it is also the psychological barrier. The bird is so angry, the bird is so frustrated at being ill treated, at being locked up, that it is caught in a bar of anger. So, rage means anger, and anger here acts like a cage. The cage of anger basically locks up the mind of the bird so that the bird is not able to see the beauty of the world outside. So, not only the physical cage locks the bird, but the psychological cage is also locking the bird inside it. So, this is the bars of his rage. And the wings of the bird are clipped and his feet are tied. So you see, these things are almost unnecessary. If you're putting something inside a cage, what is the meaning of tying the hands and the legs of that particular creature? Inside the cage, you are already securing, locking that creature. So when a bird is inside the cage, it can't fly. If you are allowing the bird to come outside the cage, and if you don't want the bird to fly away, you may clip the wings of the bird, or you may tie the feet of the bird. Many people do that with pigeons. They clip the wings of the pigeons, or they tie the feet of the pigeons so that they may walk around in the terrace but they can't fly away. But if you are keeping the bird inside the cage, what is the necessity to clip their wings and to tie their legs? Basically, this should be understood at the symbolic level. This is representing the multiple levels of oppression that the black people have to suffer in the society. First of all, they have to suffer because they are black and they have come from a different culture, a different ethnicity, not the European ones. Secondly, they are poor because they have not traditionally been given all the opportunities in life, so they are poor. Thirdly, all their cultural expression, their language has been taken away from them, and they are forced to adopt Christianity as a religion, they are forced to adopt English as their language. So, these are the multiple levels of confinement, multiple levels of oppression that the black people in American society has to suffer. And this is represented beautifully in the poem by the expression, the wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So, beside putting the bird inside the cage, somebody has clipped the wings of the bird and tied the legs of the bird. Complete confinement, no movement at all. So, if the body can't move, at least the bird has one liberty, it opens its mouth and sings. In order to vent, in order to express all the feelings of pain and agony that it is feeling right now, the bird simply opens its mouth and sings. Now, what does the bird sing? The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill. The for the caged bird sings of freedom. So this caged bird is singing songs, but these songs are not confident songs. The voice of the caged bird is fluttering, the voice of the caged bird is shaking. And as the voice of the caged bird is shaking, it is clearly evident that the bird lacks confidence. If somebody has confidence, that confidence is reflected in the voice. But because this bird is nervous, it is afraid due to the years of oppression, due to the years of being locked up inside the cage, the bird has lost its confidence and courage, and therefore the song that it sings is full of fear and nervousness, and it is shaking because of that fear. So that is what fearful trill means. And what is the subject matter of the song? The song is about unknown things but longed for still. That means the bird is basically singing about the free nature outside the cage, the nature which it has only seen but it has never been able to experience. The caged bird has seen the free bird fly and enjoy in the open sky, but it could never claim the open sky as its own. So today the bird is singing of its deep desire to fly in the open sky. And this desire is something that the bird has never achieved in reality, but it has always desired to achieve. It has always dreamt of achieving. That is why the song of the bird is having a special flavor, and this flavor is the flavor of freedom. See, it's written, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The song of the bird is so powerful, so touching, that it reaches far and wide, even on the distant hill, far away. It can be easily heard because the subject matter of the song is so touching, so important, that is freedom, that it reaches beyond boundaries. So, if we come to the symbolic level, definitely this is representing the black people, because the black people had been subjected to so much discrimination in the American society. They had to suffer discrimination because of their skin color, because of their race, ethnicity, religion, everything. So, these black people finally found expression in literature or in music, art. So they started creating poetry of their own. They started writing novels of their own. They started composing music, the very famous blues and jazz music. They started composing hip hop. So these are the ways the black people in America tried to express their feelings through art. So, when the poet says that the black people sing songs, the caged bird sings songs, we need to understand this song basically represents the art of the black people who try to express all their feelings and sentiments through the medium of art. And this art is so great, so touching, that it reaches far and wide. And you see how true this assertion is, that even sitting in this corner of the world, in the far east, in India, we are still reading about Maya Angelou's song. So she is also a black poet. She is also from the African American community, and therefore she is also a caged bird herself. So when she is writing a song, her song has reached us because it is a song that is having an universal subject, that is freedom. Now, the caged bird is lacking confidence and it is singing, yet it is singing in a melodious voice which reaches far and wide. But what is the free bird doing in the meantime? We come back to the free bird now. The free bird thinks of another breeze and the trade winds soft through the singing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky as his own. So, just again in comparison, in contrast to the situation of the caged bird, the free bird is waiting for another breeze. So it already enjoyed itself when the breeze was blowing, and it used the breeze as a horse. Sitting at the back of the breeze, it flew down, and now it is waiting for another breeze to continue its game. It is waiting when the breeze will blow and the trees will start moving. The branches of the trees will start moving and making a sighing sound. Then the bird will once again fly, sitting at the back of the wind, fly around and enjoy itself. And then what it will do? It is waiting for the next morning when the dawn will come, and as the lights of the dawn approaches, the sun starts rising. In that bright light, the gardens and the fields will be illuminated, and then the bird will go in search of its food. The gardens are filled with fat worms. It's filled with insects that the bird can feed upon. And the bird is just waiting that the night will soon be over. Once again, the breeze will start blowing and the sun will rise. So, as soon as the sun rises, the bird will fly on and it will procure its food. Ample food is available for it in the lawns. Fat worm, that means good food, good nourishment. And therefore, seeing because so much opportunity is available for the free bird, it has the courage to name the sky his own. It has the courage to consider that the whole sky is his own property. It can do whatever it likes in the sky. There is no barrier to stop it, there is no cage to prevent its free flight. It's free to enjoy the opportunities provided by nature. Now, coming to the symbolic level, what does this stanza signify? This another breeze means another opportunity. Already there is a lot of opportunity available for the Europeans in America, the white skinned Europeans in America, and they are just waiting for more and more opportunity for improving their already good lives. They are waiting for better opportunities to climb up in the ladder of success. And there is fat worms waiting for them, big success. So fat worm symbolically represents big success, great opportunities. So these fat worms are waiting for them. Just the sun's rays will fall on the lawns and these people will grab those opportunities and they will become more and more successful. So its fat worm is basically like the money. They can make more and more money by just putting a more hard work, just by getting the right opportunity. So they are waiting for the right opportunity. As soon as they grab the opportunity, more and more money and economic financial success is waiting for them. So these people have the power to claim the society of America as their own. They dominate the society, they control the society, they determine the policies of the country. So that is why our poet says he names the sky his own. That means the white people, they control the society of America. But unfortunately, this is not same for the black people. The black people who are represented by the caged bird, they but a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped, his feet are tired, so he opens his throat to sing. But the caged bird, it cannot wait for another opportunity. Forget another opportunity. Even the dreams and aspirations, the basic desires that the caged bird had, those desires are also unfulfilled. Those desires are also dead. So the bird is today standing on the grave of its dreams. So here, dreams have been personified, those dreams have died, and they have been buried also. What were these dreams? Dreams of having a successful life, dreams of freedom, dreams of equal opportunity in the country, respect in the country. But all these dreams have been totally broken, and just like a person after his death, he is buried. Similarly, these dreams are now buried, and this caged bird is standing at the top of such a grave which contains the dead body of his dreams and is shouting in fear of his nightmares. Nightmares are the opposite of the dreams. Dreams promise us good things. Nightmares are scary, threaten us. So, seeing the condition of the black people in America, in the American society, is almost like seeing a nightmare in front of your own eyes, and seeing such nightmares, the caged bird shouts in fear. And then once again, there is a repetition in this poem. We see that the wings are clipped and his feet are tired. So the bird has no other opportunity but to express itself by singing songs. The song about the frustration of dreams being broken, the song about the pain of losing the independence, the song about freedom. The bird sings about freedom. So, as we can clearly understand, that this is also hinting at the situation of the black people whose dreams, aspirations, hopes have all turned dead because the American society did not provide them another opportunity. Which was provided to the white was not given to the black. So that is why for them their dreams changed into nightmares. Instead of having happiness, were given pain and suffering. And in such a situation, in utter frustration, hopelessness, these people open their mouth to sing. That is, to create literature, to create songs, to express their sentiments and feelings. Now, the last stanza of the poem is basically a repetition. We have already read this stanza earlier, and whenever there is a repetition of lines or stanzas in a poem, we call it a refrain. So, refrain is basically a repetition of a stanza or repetition of lines in a poem, and the purpose of a refrain is basically to emphasize something, to highlight some very important thought or idea. So, this stanza is basically the key to understand the poem. This is the main thing that our poet has desired to express. The poet wants the people to understand that the caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still. So, once again, the caged bird is singing with nervousness, its voice is breaking and shaking, and the subject matter of its song is the things which it desires but never could achieve because of the partiality, biasedness of the American society. Yet, the song is so powerful, for still and his tune is heard on the distant hill. So the tune of the bird song, the melody is so grand, so powerful that it reaches far and wide. People all around the world can hear that song because it touches everyone's heart. The theme is a universal theme. Freedom is something that everyone in every part of the world desires and cherishes. Therefore, the theme of freedom is a universal theme and it reaches the heart of every individual whoever listens to this song. For the caged bird sings of freedom. So, with this, we come to the end of the poem. Just to sum up, you need to remember it very carefully that the poem is built around two metaphors: the caged bird representing the black people and the suffering that they had in an American society which is racist, which does not allow the black people to achieve any desire, any hope, because they consider the black people inferior. And who enjoys all the benefits of this economically powerful country? Of course, the white people, the European American people, who enjoys all the benefits of the country's progress. So that is what the poet is criticizing in this poem, as well as she is expressing the frustration and the pain of the people of her own community. So this poem has a deep autobiographical note as well. Thank you.